Hello guys, welcome to Mother Code Academy.
So let's get started. Hash include rstream using namespace std int main. As you all know, we usually highlight our problem. So let's highlight it here today. It's a simple calculator using the concept of switch statements. So we're just going to create a simple calculator using the concept of switch statement. The first thing to do is to create two variables. Let's call them floats, num1, num2. So this num1 is going to hold the first number that a user enter. Let's say a user wants to compute 5 plus 10. So the first variable is going to hold 5 and the second variable is going to hold 10. So this is the reason why I declare two variables of floating point numbers. And the reason why they are floating point numbers is that it can be 5.5 plus 10.9. It can be like that. So I don't have to declare them as variable, because if I declare them to be integer, if I declare them to be integer, if a user enter 19.5 plus 11.5, it won't work. So, and the next variable you're going to create is char. Let's call it opt, meaning that is what type of operation does the user want to perform. Okay, so for example, now the first thing to do is cout enter first number, and then we have cin. You can put cin num1. So the computer is going to display enter first number in this place, and then this semicolon terminates this statement, and computer reads the next statement from here, cin num1. So the computer will allow user, it will read from what the user type or press from the keyboard, so, and store it in the variable called num1. The next thing is cout enter operation. That is what type of operation are you going to perform. And then the next thing is cin opt. So this is our operation. Operation can be plus, it can be minus, it can be times, it can be divide by. You understand? This is what we use divide by. So this is how we use divide by. So divide by is this slash. And then if we come here now, we put cout again, and then this one we put enter second number, and then we have cin num2. So after the user has, okay, let's run the program and see how the program is working. So if we compile this program like this, let's just create a name for the program, and let's see what's going to happen. Enter first number, enter operation, let's say enter plus, enter the next number, let's say like this. So as you can see, nothing happened. So now we are going to use switch statement. We put switch, and we're going to switch over our operation. That is, what type of operation does the user enter? If the user wants the calculator to do plus, to add, so we're going to see, let's start with plus, case plus. So this will happen if what the user enter in the option happens to be plus. So this line will happen. cout, let's do something like this. Cout num1, that is num1. We can do this one here. Num1 plus num2 equal to, then I put num1 plus num2. Let me explain what happened here. This one, if what the user enter as an option, that is the character, this is a character variable. it is going to hold either plus, minus, or any symbol that is a character. So once the user enters the character here, and the character happens to be plus, so this line of code is going to be executed. Cout num1, computer will take whatever the user enter as num1. Let's assume he entered 8, so computer is going to bring 8 here. It will create a space and put plus with another space, num2. Let's assume what the user entered in num2 is 9, so the computer will bring 9 here and create a space, put equality symbol, and then take num1 and add it with num2. So num1 plus num2 will be added here automatically, not here. This place I just want them to be outputted in a nice format. Yeah, if I just run the program, I will show you what happened. If I run this program now, so just look, let's say 8, and the operation is plus, and let's say 9. So see what happened. Computer shows 8 plus 9 equal 17. So this is the reason why I make it to be like this, num1, and I put this 2 less than to show that I need another output, and I put this in quotation. I want the computer to bring it the way I put it, and I didn't put this one in quotation because I want the computer to show me the way I leave it. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. So likewise, it continues. Then we have to put break line here. I earlier explained what switch statement is, how we use switch statement. If you didn't watch the video, check my playlist. The video is already there. So case what? Case minus, that is if the user enter minus. Case minus, we put cout. Let's just copy this line of code from here. I copy from this line here to the space with Ctrl C, and I paste it here. So this one num1 minus num2, and I have something like this here. So let's put case 3 here. That is the next case. I'm sorry for saying case 3 is multiplication, and I have something like this. I can paste this one to num1. This one will be times num2, and this one I'm going to use times. The normal operation for multiplication is star, so I press shift and 8. So if I come here and I put case of division, that is division, this is division, and if I come here, I put Ctrl V, num1, I put divide by this division, this one will put the division here. So I just make small formatting, and this calculator is ready. And the next one I'm going to input is for the computer or for our calculator to check if a number that is like to return the remainder, So remainder is modulo operator. Let's just put com. So for us to get a remainder, we need a modulo operator. So this symbol, that is the percentage symbol. And how it works is, if you put 5 modulo 3, the computer is going to check how many times is 5 going to enter 3 and what is the remainder. So 5 is going to enter 3. Sorry, how many times is 3 going to enter 5? That is, how many times can we find 3 in 5? We can find 3 one place, and the remainder is what? The remainder is 2. So the answer is the remainder. The remainder is the answer. Another example, if you have, let's say 10 modulo 7, or let me use the word 3. So 3 can enter 10 3 times, and the remainder is what? The remainder is 1. So remainder is just our answer in this aspect. So let's say we want our program to check for remainders too. So this case we have to check something. We set case modulo. So in terms of modulo, where we have something like this as a modulo, the first thing to do here is to put, like, we need to check. So how do we check? The checking is that before our program can put this. Okay, let's do something like this. Like if my num1, let me just do, if my integer value of num1 is equal to num1 and integer value of num2, I will explain this, please. Just look. is equal to num2. Then we can come here. So now, my students, if you understand this, I am putting an if statement inside a switch statement. It is very normal and it is very fine and okay to use an if statement inside a switch statement. Programming, it is all about creativity, and the more you're creative, the more you can play with it. So what I just do here is that I'm trying to check. This int means I casted my num1. If you look from line 5 here, num1 is a floating point number. A floating point numbers are numbers with decimal part. For example, if a user enters 7, the computer will take it as 7.0 because it is a floating point number. So, but if a user enters an integer 7, 7 and 7.0, they are all 7. No one is greater than the other one. For you to use the modulo operator, you have to make sure that your num1 and your num2, they are all integers, not floating point numbers, because you cannot find a remainder of floating point numbers. A number in a floating point format is already a number with remainder. I hope you guys understand. So here, this one I'm trying to cast. That is, to cast is to convert it to an integer. I'm now checking if my converted form, like this 7.0, if you cast 7.0 from floating point number in line 5 to an integer, it will now be 7 here. So, and 7.0 with 7, they are the same. So that is just what I'm checking here. Is the casted form of num1 the same thing as the previous num1? At the same time, is the casted form of num2 the same thing as the previous num2? If this is true, then I enter my curly brackets and I can remove this break here. So, if this is true, then I put C out. Let me just copy this one. Sorry, I have to put C out here. So I'll just copy this one without this Ctrl C, and I'll paste it here. So if I paste this one here, I will say num1 modulo, use the modulo operator here, modulo num2 equal to, then I will now use the casted form of this value. So I will not use them the way they are here because they are floating point numbers here. So I will use int num1 modulo int num2. Yeah, so it's okay like this, because if you use them as num1 and num2, that is num1 modulo num2, you are going to run an error because you cannot find the remainder of dividing a floating point number and a floating point number. So you have to cast them here because the operation actually takes place in this place, this highlighted area. So if you come here now, after putting int num1 modulo int num2, then I can, that is my if, that is the if. Then else invalid cout, invalid input. So if this condition is false, that is if computer come to case of using modulo operator, that is remainder, and this condition is false, computer is going to output this value here. Yeah, so then here we can put our break. You can put your break here. Then sorry, this break is supposed to be here, so we can put the break here. So our break is here. Then in this the next case is case default. That is, if the case does not match anyone, then we have cout invalid operator, invalid operator. Let's leave it like that. So here, let's try to run this program and see. So what's wrong with this one? Sorry, this is just default. Default has nothing like case defaults. I'm sorry. So let's run the first number and see. Let's say 6 operation. Let's say plus, and let's say 4. So as you can see, 6 plus 4 equal 10. It's actually fine. So let's run again. Let's see, 7 minus 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. It's correct. Let's try again. Plus, minus, and we have multiplication. 4 multiplied by 5. So 4 multiplied by 5 is 20, correct. And then the next one is division. 6 divided by what? Let's say 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Nice one. And then let's try to run the program again and check for the modulo operator. 6, or let's put 10 modulo 3. So can you see 10 modulo 3 is 1. The remainder of dividing 10 by 3 is 1. So let's try to enter a number again. I'm sorry. If you run the program and you put, let's say 8.6 modulo, let's say modulo 5. And you see invalid input. Our program is running well. So let's try for the last time. 7, let's put at symbol and let's put 8. Invalid operator. So this program is actually working the way we want it to work. So feel free to use this program the way you want, and you can also add more functionality to it. This video is the next video to the previous switch statement I teach in this channel. If this is the first time of you coming to this channel, consider subscribing to our channel, like this video and share it with your friends. Thank you.